I know this is a little bit late, but 2016 is finally drawn to a close and we're moving right on to 2017. So here are my top 10 movies of 2016. Now, number 10 is a movie that I saw pretty early on in the year, and it will always hold a special place in my heart because it was the first video review that I ever put on YouTube, and that is Zootopia. Zootopia is a great movie that I think really explored a lot of things that you don't expect from an animated movie, as well as having a really original premise, a really fascinating and fun story, as well as incredible animation. Now, number 9 is a film that I think really criminally was underseen by the general public, and that is The Nice Guys. I think this movie deserved to be seen by everyone, and I really do think that it's almost a sin that so few people saw this film, because I really do think that it was one of the best movies of the year, and obviously so, with great performances from Russell Crowe and Ryan Gosling, an incredible script, and just a great overall 70s fun tone with a great story to go along with it. Now, number 8 is Edge of 17, which is a great movie that just came out in the fall, and I think is an incredible story of this young girl going through high school, and I think is a really realistic and hilarious, but also just very heartfelt and touching story that really also, just like The Nice Guys, was really underseen by people, and I really wish got more publicity because I really expected this movie to suck, and in fact it was one of the best movies I saw all year. Now, number 7, in my opinion, is some of the greatest acting that was in film all year, and that is Hell or High Water. I think the performances of Jeff Bridges, Chris Pine, and especially Ben Foster were incredible in this movie, as well as having a fascinating story with these 4 men who are all after each other and don't really know each other. It's an incredible story. Number 6 is Arrival, which got a ton of buzz this year, and I think very deservedly so. This movie made me think more than any movie that came out this entire year, which is why it lands itself in the number 6 spot, because I really think that it is an incredible story, but upon second viewings and third viewings, and when you really think about this movie and let it age and really think about all the things that it has to offer, Arrival is one of the most incredible and valuable stories that you're going to see for a long time. Now, moving on to number 5, I really couldn't make this list without putting at least one comedy movie on here, and I think Deadpool just nailed it. Deadpool is my second favorite superhero behind Spider-Man, and I was so happy to finally see him be just exactly the way he's supposed to be on the big screen. I think this movie did the greatest service to this character. The way that they thought, hey, we don't have to make this exactly like the comic books as long as we get the essence of the character, which is really the way you should make an adaptation. You should look at, okay, what is the essence? And let's take that essence and put our own spin on it, which I think Deadpool did incredibly well. Number 4 is a movie that I just saw, and it's called Manchester by the Sea, and I think this movie is incredible. I think it is probably the best example of acting that you have all year. I think this movie, Hell or High Water, and Deadpool are really the 3 greatest examples of actors in their prime, just nailing their performances. And I just think it's an incredible story that really does a great job showing the real relationships that these characters have with one another. Now, moving on to number 3, you have Captain America Civil War, which is a movie that I've been looking forward to my entire life. I can't believe we finally got this incredible hero versus hero, just incredible movie that really explores a lot more things outside of just superheroes fighting other superheroes. And I think that that airport fight sequence alone is enough to make this movie get a pretty high spot on my list. And that's why Captain America Civil War is number 3 in my top 10 movies of the year. Now here we go. These are the top 2 movies of 2016 for me, and these are really the best movies of the year in my opinion, and that's why my number 2 is going to be Sing Street. Sing Street is a movie that I just saw and was also really underseen by a lot of people. I think the critics really saw it and loved it, but I don't think the general public really experienced Sing Street the way that they should have, because this movie is pure brilliance. I think it's an incredible story, and I love this year you see a lot of movies really trying to tackle these very hyper-realistic stories and showing characters doing things that you generally wouldn't see on film. They're doing relatively mundane tasks and having really long, uncut conversations with one another. And I really like that new style of filmmaking that you're starting to see. And I think Sing Street nailed it with these incredible young Irish actors and great 80s pop music to go along with it. I just love this movie. Now here we go. This is the number 1 movie of the year for me, and I don't think it's going to be a surprise to anyone that La La Land is my number 1 movie of 2016. This movie blew me away. I think from the performances to the music to the great old-timey, also very modern story that they managed to capture. I think Damien Chazelle as a director is someone who is already finding great success, and I don't see him stopping anytime soon with this movie La La Land that I think really captivates the very modern and old-timey style of filmmaking that people are flocking to the theaters to see these days, and clearly a lot of people agree with me. So I really don't think that it's even a contest that La La Land is by far the best movie of 2016. Alright guys, well that's my top 10. If I wanted to just say some honorable mentions, I think Star Trek Beyond, Sausage Party, as silly as it was, I had a great time watching that movie. I even think Pop Star with Andy Samberg and The Lonely Island was a great time at the movie theater. And shockingly, Rogue One did not make my list. As big of a Star Wars fan as I am, Rogue One didn't really do it for me. It just didn't quite make it into my top 10. It's close, but not quite there. Along with movies like Doctor Strange that I thought were great, incredible times at the movies, but not quite top 10 worthy. Anyways, guys, that's my top 10 movies of 2016. Let me know what your top 10 was in the comments below, and I hope you drop me a subscribe, drop me a like, whatever it is you do here on YouTube, and I'll see you next week.